Like, oh,
Yeah, she probably
why are
knows.
they putting Ayanda's face everywhere? Of course you know. Of course you know. There's no way you can date someone and you don't know that they are your tsotsi. And they do all these lavish things for you and everything. You don't know what their source of income is. Oh, please.
Oh, well, guys, moral of the story is if you want to date an it girl, be a criminal. It's quite clear.
Yeah, make serious money. Like, yeah.
And yeah, thank you guys for the support you've been getting
Thank
lately.
you so much. Oh my goodness. We're really happy with the growth of the channel as well. And it's really motivating us to do more videos.
Umuntu osebenza afford intombi. That's one thing abantu ke abayaziyo. Yabo lezi zama wave. Kuphela kufanele ukhiphe 4,000. Ayo ye wave. Manje umuntu osazolinda kuphela inyanga uzoyimela leyo. So very intombi ezinhle. Lezi eintswempu lezi ngempela zezi 800 izinto. Ezeyigebengu vele.
Well, I mean, it's true. Like, no lies detected in what he's saying. Especially if you want to get with, you know, these baddies, especially these Insta baddies and all. They want people that are gonna drop serious money on them, you know, because, I mean, I can't be, like, you can't be a baddie and not live the lifestyle. Otherwise, I mean, come on. Because that's what the majority of South Africans are interested in seeing. They want to see you living lavish. And obviously, a lot of the times, because the South African economy is like, you know, these celebrities aren't getting paid that well. We know that, especially from their day jobs. That's not, and those who actually have jobs. And even the baddies and the influencers, yes, they get the promos here and here, you know, and the sponsors, what, but it's not that much money, you know. So we know a lot of their lifestyles are funded, right? So there is a funder behind. So if you're trying to get with a baddie, of course you have to have deep pockets, like seriously deep pockets. And we know that in South Africa, it is very hard for a person to have deep pockets living or leading an honest living.
I want to start off by blaming pretty much the government, or
of course
I want to blame the police system or the justice system in general, because most of the people that are balling like that are criminals.
Yes.
Like we see it in our politicians.
Yeah.
We also see it in our businessmen. We just see it everywhere. Ballers are criminals here in South Africa.
Yeah.
So the problem is that now when you are a criminal, you can openly ball for a while before you get caught. So now
it's not that you were not known to begin with.
Yes.
Like they are always known. These people are always known. There's no crime you can commit here that you can't be traced or not known. It's just that I feel like this is like a brotherhood type of thing. At some point when they're not fucking with you anymore, then you start getting exposed. Like people will start dropping your name or whatever.
The point I was trying to make is that because the justice system does not punish these people, they are incentivized. Now everyone is incentivized to do crime in order to ball.
Of course.
Instead of trying to make an honest living. So now most young men, obviously they want to get the baddies, they want to get the baddest honeys out there. But they see with their own eyes that in order to get these honeys, they need to be criminals.
Yes.
And then now they focus their energy on becoming criminals.
But even if we put it aside from the baddies situation, right, which I feel like the baddies were kind of an aftermath, right? That is the South African model. Like people earning money that way is almost like the only way. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no jobs. There aren't really jobs in South Africa, right? And it's like you either poor or you rich or you there working, you know, the working class. And there's not much, they can't really accommodate much more within the working class, it seems, right? So now it's either you're gonna fall over to the poor, you know, and poverty is not nice. People hate poverty, especially people who grew up on poverty and people who tasted poverty. You kind of want to make sure that you don't go back or you don't stay within that. So it's like, well, what other options do they have? They've seen that with our government, right? Our government, outsources themselves. So it's like, well, You know, if our government is doing it, the only people that are rich are people that are in some way or the other. It's either they're stealing from South Africans, you know, through tax or whatever, or resources that they are supposed to be supplying South Africans, or it's one way or the other, it's stealing, you know. So it's like, well, what else are you going to do? You want the lifestyle, and the baddies for men are part of the lifestyle.
It's most definitely part of the lifestyle. So we've seen this trend now in the past couple of months. People are being investigated and all convicted for fraud and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you saw it with Arthur, with the Lotto scam.
Yeah.
Quite a few celebrities actually got involved in that Lotto
Terry
scam. Terry Petto also got involved in that Lotto scam.
Yeah.
Also, who's this guy? The Tsotsi one. The main actor, low Tuso man in the river, but that guy as well. He was also involved in that Lotto scam.
Yes.
So and then now you see the likes of Leroy Satambe got involved in the scandal.
Yeah.
They posted Mihlali all over the place for that. Now Faith Nketsi's husband involved in another scandal. Yeah. Posting her all over the place.
I feel like there's so many illegal businesses going on that are generating a lot of money, and I feel like the bulk of the money being generated in South Africa is illegal money. That's why they want any person who can front, who they can launder money through. Like for instance, like the Tutsi people, Terry was a perfect person to launder to, because they know, like it's known, people in South Africa don't make money like that, you know. The police are going to be on you and everything, investigators and shit. So it's like, well, Terry, they were the perfect people because Tsotsi was known to be international, and so obviously they're gonna approach people like that, you know, where you're not gonna question if Terry Petto's got a mansion in Bryanston, even though they didn't make money like that, you know what I mean? But you'd be like, they are international, so they can always say that it's like royalties from the movie and things like that, like because Tsotsi was a big movie. So it's like they're always just looking for somebody who's gonna be the perfect fit.
It's unfortunate, but you know what pisses me off the most, right? Black people are so bad at hiding this. It's called white collar crime. What we're doing,
keeping a low profile.
Yes, white collar criminals. They obviously launder money, do fraud, and all that stuff like that. But they learn to keep a low profile to not get caught. And a lot of white people are involved in white collar crime. They're obviously involved in white collar crime. That's why it's called white collar crime. But they don't expose themselves like that, and therefore minimize the chances of them getting caught. You know what I feel like?
They are the ones that drop you when you start popping too much. Because I do feel like they are the masterminds behind a lot of them, and roping in a few of the black people that don't know anything, to be honest. And it's like, whoa, a black person, when you give them money, they live loud, you know. Black people live loud when you give them money. So it's like, okay, now you kind of shedding that, because if you're going to shed light on yourself and people are going to start knowing and seeing, and you know, then it's like they drop you like a hot potato.
Unfortunately, from what we're seeing, 9 times out of 10, if you're rich in South Africa, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
There's probably the rare 1% or 1 out of 10 people that actually make their money
an honest living and are rich.
But most people
but in some way there is something wrong that you're doing. Like it's either you exploiting people or like honestly.
So you can't get rich without fucking over people. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying that.
That's what you're saying.
In South Africa, I feel like it's really hard to.
I don't think so.
I really think it's hard to get rich here without fucking over people.
No. Well, the system is corrupt. So, in order to get rich, you need to be corrupt yourself. But there are those few anomalies that I do believe that do start something and they do it right and they make a lot of money out of that, and maybe somewhere down the line. But then a lot of them
start tampering in money laundering.
Yes, I'm saying maybe somewhere down the line, then they get caught up in the corrupt system and they become corrupt. You're seeing with the likes of these it girls now. In order to bag you an it girl, you need to be a criminal. You gotta be a criminal. Because they know somebody who's earning a salary and is waiting for a paycheck at the end of the month.
is not gonna cut
You know what
it.
I was always thinking though? You know what I was always thinking whenever I see these niggas like they do these weird things in the club when they buy expensive bottles and pour them down. I'm like, there is no way in hell that a person who worked hard for his money, no matter how much it is, no matter how much money he made, there's no way you're just gonna pour it down the drain.
No, that's like red flag number one.
That is
you
like
don't know how to work for your money.
That is like
you don't work for your money.
No, you don't know the value of money. You're just getting it.
You don't sweat for your money. In other words, like.
So if you're dealing with niggas like that, just know.
And know the risks that come with it. And Ayanda can't be crying. Like, I hear how people are all going on like, oh,
she probably
why
knows.
are they putting Ayanda's face everywhere? Of course you know. Of course you know. There's no way you can date someone and you don't know that they are your tsotsi. And they're doing all these lavish things for you and everything. You don't know what their source of income is. Oh, please. I think they always tell themselves that they're going to act like they don't know. You know what I mean? And
what if she genuinely doesn't ask, which is stupid.
It's stupid.
Getting spoiled or living this lavish life, but you genuinely don't.
Well, that's one of the codes, to be honest. It's
just
none of your business. Don't ask. Like, stay out of it. But the truth
stupid.
Is, you know. You know. You'll see stuff. You're going to know. Especially when it gets to a point of living with the person. There's no way you're not going to know you are staying with a criminal. And it just gets to the point of you being okay with it because it's funding your lifestyle. Like, Thabethe can't tell me that they thought their people were leading an honest living or legitimate businessmen. No, but they're content with it. They like it because it funds the lifestyle that they want. So my only fight is this, is like, don't act all when shit starts hitting the fan, okay? And what they don't understand about crime is that you can get implicated in those situations.
Yeah.
It's like, they're like, well, if they just say that they're not involved, then...
But then most of the time when these scandals do break off and stuff, you don't see Mihlali coming out and saying, you don't see them coming out and saying, I didn't know or whatever.
Well,
they just keep quiet.
They just keep quiet.
But they won't come out and say, no, I didn't know he was doing this.
Yeah, of course you can't.
Even Faith now, her husband, she's just quiet about it. She never came out and said, I didn't know he was scamming. They know. They just don't want to be. They just want to be involved in that stuff like that. So,
and just because you're not involved in the business itself doesn't mean you are not involved. Because you are involved. You are eating.
You're basically eating.
Yes. Like if your man is stealing from poor people, for instance, and he buys you a car, what are you doing? You also stole from poor people. Yes. So it's like, well, you're just as bad as your man. So I don't feel sorry for them when their faces are plastered all over social media because their men are found to be criminals. They're criminals too. It's a zonke. So it's like people always are crying like, oh, you don't see so-and-so's face. That was the risk you took when you dated a criminal, when you were dating a criminal. That's the risk you take. And it's like whenever that's why if you are a public figure, you gotta vet the people you're dating. You can't just date anybody. That's why when they're dating someone who's not rich and just how much vetting do they do on that person? They want to check who they are on the street and what. But when it's rich, no vetting is done. Hey, they don't care about that.
Yeah, that's the privileges the rich have.
Exactly. So again, then you must be willing to suffer the consequences that come with that. So now these people get caught. Then what happens? We don't know who the hell they are. We know them because that's your man. So obviously, the story is going to touch us when we know so-and-so's man is a thief. Then we're going to be like, whoa, ha, kanti. And there's nothing wrong with that journalism. Benza kahle, or journalist.
Yeah, I guess. I don't have any much opinion on that. I think they're just doing it for clickbait purposes more than anything else.
Of course, that's fine because we're not gonna know and not care. Like,
yeah, we're not gonna care.
Yeah, we're not gonna care. Yeah. How are we gonna care if Leroy is a thief? Oh, so what? Who is Leroy? But when we know Mihlali is Leroy, you know,
yeah, people start talking.
Yes, then we give it them. When we give it them, I'm sorry, but you can't change that. That's just how things are.
Oh well, guys, moral of the story is if you want to date an it girl, be a criminal. It's quite clear.
Yeah, make serious money. Like
Yeah.
you can't add in a budget, like a monthly budget. Like if you're budgeting your salary, it's not gonna work.
Oh yeah, that's why
Because
that's why Nigerians are also like so big here, because
Yeah,
they are openly known for being criminals. And,
Yes.
but women do not care about that.
that's
They
why
just
any
want that
baddie
lifestyle.
they get it. They scrape the baddies now. They scrape the baddies. That's why like our rich South African men will get they get the top tier, you know, the well-known baddies, you know, the top of the, but then the rest they belong to the Nigers. The rest belong to the Nigers. So the rest of South African men can just forget it. The rest of the baddies
Yeah,
they
that's
belong to the Nigers.
Just tough.
So,
But it is what it is, man. You guys
Yep.
just let us know what you think about this whole situation.
yeah, let us know. I mean, firstly, what I want to know is, do you feel bad when they are being implicated, when their faces are all over social media, when their partners are found out to be criminals?
But they're eating the money, so
But they're chowing the money with them. It's all good and well. It's nice. And do you think that the baddies are the real? Interestingly, this is something like. Don't you think baddies keep our economy going?
what
They
economy?
are like the biggest fueler of our GDP, basically.
Or the black market economy, or just our
Yes,
GDP in general.
our GDP in general.
Yeah.
They are the forefront nje,
Yeah.
of our the motivators of
Yes, baddies motivate men to achieve more. And then
Yes.
when men achieve more, they spend on baddies.
uyabona-ke. So as because we hate ama-baddie, because technically the money we're making in South Africa is because baddies.
Yeah, it's
Because
for,
baddies are
it's for women. Women are the largest consumers.
Yes.
Women are much bigger consumers than men. But
Yep.
where do they get the money from? From the men.
from the men.
So-
And our men don't have much options, to be honest. It's either he needs an honest living, he has a job, 9 to 5, or, which is quite difficult these days in South Africa to do. But even though, if you really want to get rich, think about it. Yeah, but you have to be a truth. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, you guys let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you guys for the support you've been getting.
Thank
lately.
you so much. Oh my goodness. We're really happy with the growth of the channel as well. And it's really motivating us to do more videos.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe.
Thank you for watching. Bye.
I'll see you guys in the next one.